Welcome to Forest Chat, where we talk about individual endeavour in Western Australia, what it takes, what it means, and how you do it. I'm your host, Paul Vandermeer, and in today's episode, we're talking with Nathalie Mitchell about painting by numbers. Nathalie started painting by numbers in September 2024, and since then completed about 30 different paintings. Welcome to Forest Chat, Nathalie.
Hi, Paul. Thanks for having me.
It's actually having you again, isn't it?
Yes, the second time.
Because the first time we talked about open water swimming, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Right,
Yep.
And this is like totally different.
Complete different thing. Yeah.
So what are we talking about here? What is paint by numbers as you do it?
Paint by numbers is like artwork, but the design has already been done for you. So there are numbers where different colours should go, and you just follow it as it goes. Yeah, so you would just paint, like if there's a number 12, I have a paint pot with number 12 on it saying that's green. You just paint where all the 12s are green, and then 13 would be yellow, and then you just paint. Yeah, it's like colouring in, but just with paint.
And the numbers tell you which colour to put in.
Yeah, it tells me which colours to put in, and then it creates whatever the artwork is already laid out. So I would pick a canvas that I liked and then go from there with all the numbers and the paint colours.
And when you choose the canvas, do they give you an idea of what it's supposed to look like at the end?
Yes, there's a picture there, and they also have like not a cheat sheet, but just another sheet. So when you're going over the colours, if the canvas is a little bit porous or whatever, you've got to go over the colours at the end. You know what colours are going onto the canvas. Sometimes you can't tell because all the colours are similar. You have to, you can just go back to the cheat sheet to see where the colours actually go.
So there's like a plan and a legend. And do the kits come with everything, the paint included?
The kits come with the canvas and the paints and the paintbrushes. So you don't have to buy anything extra. It's just the kit comes all in one.
Canvas, paint and brushes to apply it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the designs that you get, are they intricate?
Yeah, they're all different. There's so many different canvases you can buy. I choose ones that appeal to me the most. Oh, that could be anything. If I go and have a look where I go to look to get the canvases, there's plenty to choose from. So if you're looking for a particular thing, a theme or whatever, you can just type in wherever you're looking, because I buy them online. If you like wolves, you can type in wolves, and then lots of different wolf pictures will come up. And then you can choose whatever design you like.
And I gather there are designs from easy through intermediate to really not easy at all?
Yes. So there's beginner, intermediate and advanced. So the advanced is lots of little numbers and so you're using a lot of different colours, because some of the canvases that you buy will have like 36 colours or 24 colours, something like that. And then the advanced ones are lots of little numbers, and it takes a lot of time to do. But the beginners, you have more big areas that you need to cover, and they're a lot easier to start with.
So now I've got some questions that will probably fit better into our last question rather than answer them now.
Yeah.
You've done 30 of them or so far. Are they all sitting at your place?
Some of them have been gifts for people, because I will see a canvas and I think, wow, I know someone who would love that. Now that I've done a few canvases, I usually, when I do one, I post them on Facebook, and people say to me, wow, I love that. I could sell a canvas to them if they wanted me to, or I could do one for them, like a birthday or a gift or whatever.
What does it take you to do the paint by numbers?
Takes a lot of time and patience, but I actually like doing it for the relaxation part. But it just takes time and patience. If you've got all of that, then in just a quiet area to do it in. Yeah.
So it's a very individual process that you do when you actually paint them. Do you sit down and do them all in one hit, or?
No. The size of the canvas is like 40 centimetres by 50 centimetres, most of them that I will do, and it will take me about a week to complete one, but I'm sitting down at all different times of day. So sometimes I'll get up in the morning and I'll do an hour, and then I'll go to work, and then I'll come home and I'll do another hour. So it's all over the place. I'll just do little bits here and there, and then all of a sudden, you've finished one.
So for you, it's a way to fill in different parts of the day that match your schedule?
Yeah, so I find at the end of the day is pretty good after work, where I need quiet and I just need to relax. So yeah, it calms me down quite a bit. So you could say it's a form of therapy, just to relax your nervous system, and so you just chill out instead of watching TV or scrolling on your phone. It's just doing something different that you can zone out to. Yeah.
Are they particularly expensive or?
So when I first started, I started at Red Dot. I went to Red Dot and bought a $7 really advanced one, and I had no idea at the time it was advanced, but I did finish it, but I really enjoyed it. And then you can buy from Australia Paint by Numbers. There are a lot of different places online you can buy, but they're quite expensive. So I've found Temu has been my number one place to buy canvases, but they come rolled or folded, so I've had to learn how to frame them myself, and they're only like $10 a canvas, as opposed to $50 from one of the other places like Australia Paint by Numbers.
Over time, you've done like 30 of them. That can become an investment particularly if you buy the more expensive ones, I guess. But that investment is also like a hobby for you, is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. Great hobby. It's done a lot for me, like just relaxing me, because I'm quite an active person and I can't sit still. I never thought I'd be able to actually sit still and do one of these. I thought there's no way, but I feel like I'm achieving something, and you have an end product as well that you've created at the end.
So that's very interesting that you're quite active, and this gives you an ability to calm down and relax and focus on something and get into the flow.
Yeah, absolutely. I find when I'm painting, nothing else sort of enters my mind. I'm just focused on what I'm doing, and I don't have that chit-chat. It's kind of like a form of meditation. Yeah, it's like meditation. Nothing else sort of comes into my mind. I don't think about anything else. I'm just doing that in the moment with that. So, and that's a good thing, yeah, to just calm down at the end of the day.
The flow state is that state where you have, like you say, just that one focus, nothing else matters. You're in the flow doing it. What's the duration of time that you might spend doing this in a sitting?
Oh, I could sit there for 5 hours, but it wouldn't feel like 5 hours. Like on a Sunday, I do tend to sit down pretty much all day. I will get up and do things like a load of washing in between and things like that, but I could sit there all day and it wouldn't feel like all day. The time goes really fast when I'm doing it.
That's the beauty of being in the flow.
Yeah.
And what about short times? Like if you go and do some in the morning, how long would you spend?
I'd probably spend an hour in the morning or maybe 2. It depends how much time I've got. And then I look at the clock and go, wow, I've got to get ready to go to work or, whatever. The time just goes so fast when you're trying, when you're just concentrating.
That's the beauty of being in the flow.
Yeah, that's right.
You feel good about it. You feel productive with it.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Fantastic. It's a target space for people to try and achieve, actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've heard a fair bit about what it takes you to do Paint by Numbers, Nathalie. Let's have a break now, and after the break, we'll talk about what it means. We've heard what it takes, Nathalie, to do Paint by Numbers. Now, let's have a look at what it means. Nathalie, what does it mean to you, your family, or the community that you're able to paint by numbers?
I think the main thing is it's great for your nervous system, calms you down. I'm being creative as well without actually designing the artwork. I'm still producing art, but I haven't designed it, but it still gives me a sense of accomplishment when I've finished it. But mainly I would say it's Yeah, it's just great for your nervous system, calms everything down. If you've had a bad day at work, you come home, I go straight to where my painting is and then I start. I don't hold on to anything. I kind of let everything go and I just start painting, and yeah, it puts me in a good mood.
And it provides a gap between the stresses of working and being at home where you need to interact with your family.
Yeah, that's right. And also, my family at home, I'm not sitting there scrolling on my phone like a lot of people do. And for my son, it's good for him to see me doing something that's not involving games on the phone or looking at Facebook, things like that. So I'm hoping I'm giving him a positive thing to look at rather than sitting there doing nothing.
Has he taken it up?
I've tried with him, but he can't sit still. I have given him an easy one to do, and he has tried one, but I don't think it's for him yet. Yeah, I'll keep trying with him.
He's still young.
He's only 11, so yeah, he won't sit there. I think had he been a girl, maybe.
But maybe he needs to be off on the push bike riding around the neighbourhood or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
And what does it mean for the community?
Well, as I said before, I do post my paintings, and a lot of people have said to me, where can I do this? How do I get my hands on some of these canvases? Because they would like to give it a go. So I feel like there's a knock-on effect with, me just showing everyone and everyone saying, I might like to try that as well, because I have said to them, this is great for my health and it's good for calming you down. You can use it as a form of therapy. So, I'm hoping that other people will see that too, and they'll give it a try, because it's done a lot for me.
And while we're talking about it, and paint by numbers might sound like it's pretty simple, what you're doing actually comes up extremely well and is actually very attractive to look at, and obviously has lots of benefits for you in feeling like you've completed things, and it's given you space to separate the stresses in your life from your family and those sorts of things. It really is something that people would look at it and go, I don't think I could do that, because it actually looks so good. They say you don't make the design, but you certainly complete it. And you complete it in a way that actually makes it look attractive. How is that impacting other people?
Yeah, I've had people say to me, if I do this, it's not going to be as good as yours. And I'm thinking, just give it a go and you will amaze yourself. I didn't think I would be any good at it. I would not even see 10 years ago, there's no way I would have said I would be completing these canvases. But yeah, just give it a go. Just see if you've got time. You don't have to spend a lot of time, just a little bit of time every day. And it's just like colouring in, but just painting. You just do a little bit, and then at the end you've created this thing. I don't see how you could really go wrong with it, as long as you're painting you're doing the right colours and painting in where you should be painting. I think you just need to have patience with it, I think.
I imagine that you've made, I'll say errors, but maybe misplaced paint is probably the most likely error that you would make. Are you able to get over that easily enough?
Oh yeah, you just go and paint over it. You paint over the mistake, you wouldn't even know. Some of the canvases where there are lots of colour, you wouldn't even know you've made a mistake. If you were to show somebody, they would go, wow, look at that. But you're the only one that knows if you've made a mistake.
That's amazing. So there's an important element of what you choose. Obviously you want to choose something that you want to do, but then you started off with a difficult one, not an easy one. So it's possible to go that route as well and really challenge yourself. What do you see as the biggest challenge in it?
The challenging ones, like the small ones, like I usually do finish it from start to finish canvases, but there's one that I have put aside and I will bring it out only because it's got really small, it's a fox, and it's got really small numbers. So that one I will keep going back to, but I won't keep doing it and from start to finish, like finish it in a week. That one's been sitting there for like a month, and I think I should pull that out and have another go at it. That's been challenging for me, but I will finish it in the end.
There's definitely challenge in doing them, and you've got that one that's like, it's the one that really challenges you, so you take on some challenge and then you go and do something that is more immediately rewarding, I'll say, and then you go back to the one that's really challenging.
Yeah, exactly. It also depends, like some of the canvases I'll look at, and then because I know now what to look for and if it's going to be easy or hard. Like the ones from Temu that I buy, there is no beginner, moderate or advanced, on it. You just pick what you see. But yeah, I'll pull them out at home and think, oh no, I'm not in the mood for that one because it's a little bit too intricate. And then I might pick an easy one. But then some days I might go, I'll go for a harder one. And, it depends what sort of mood you're in and if you really want to tackle the hard ones.
And then, you've built up quite a few and people have potentially bought them from you, or you've gifted them, or whatever you've decided to do.
I haven't actually sold one yet. I've got a bit of a collection going and I have to get rid of some of them because I won't know where to store them when they keep building up. But I've gifted a lot of them and I don't mind doing that. That's fine. It's just, it gives me pleasure giving somebody something that I've created. I don't really expect any money for them because I feel like I'm a bit of an imposter creating these the artwork that I haven't actually designed, but I have completed. It's the pleasure that I get from giving. That's the main thing. And also doing the therapy side of things, that's a plus for me.
You get a lot out of it yourself.
I do get a lot out of it. So it's not like I want to make a lot of money out of doing this. It's just a hobby. It's not going to be like a job for me or anything. I have another job, but because I deal with people all day in my job, all I want to do is get home, paint and be quiet and not have, people talking to me.
Well, we've heard a good deal now about what it means that you're able to paint by numbers, Nathalie. We'll have a break, and after the break, we'll talk about how you do it. So we've talked about what it means that Nathalie can do paint by numbers. Now, let's have a look at how you do it. Nathalie, if someone wanted to start doing paint by numbers, how would they go about it?
Okay, so you need to figure out what kind of canvas you want to do, what designs do you like. I usually forward people the Australia paint by numbers. Temu might be a little bit too, because it comes folded, it doesn't come framed. I had to learn how to stretch the canvases on frames because the canvases were really cheap. But the other places, Australia Paint by Numbers, for example, will come already stretched on a frame and it'll make it easy for you just to begin without, doing anything beforehand. So you just choose a design you like and you just go from there. You just start. You have to start somewhere. I always start in the middle of the canvas and try to work my way out because if you start out and go in, you're going to smudge the paint. So it's better to start in the middle and work out. I've worked that out myself. Nobody's told me, just from mistakes, learning by mistakes. Yeah, and you just start, and you have to try to keep in the lines, but you can go out the lines. But I just make all the mistakes and then I fix them up later at the end. If something doesn't look right, I just fix it up and go over it.
So it must take some fine motor skills then and probably brushing techniques?
Yes, and the paintbrushes. So it does come with paintbrushes. Sometimes, now I've been doing it for a while, I will go and buy fine paintbrushes so I can stay in the lines. Also, at the end when you've looked at it, you can actually see sometimes where you can see lines still, so you will have to go over the lines and also see the numbers as well if you haven't gone over the numbers that well. You might have to go over it. So I would finish the canvas and then have a look and see if I usually get my son and go, can you see any numbers? And he'll go, I can see this, this, and this. And then I go over all the numbers and make sure. And then I also go around the sides, around the whole frame. So there's paint, it's not just half sort of painted. It goes right round, wraps around the frame.
And what sort of paints are they actually?
Most of them are acrylic paints. I'm not an expert on paint, so I just paint what it comes with. Sometimes the paints are a little bit dry when they come. I might have to add some paint conditioner or water to them. But yeah, mostly acrylic. There's no smell or anything like that. And if it gets all over your hands, it's easy to wash off. Whatever where I'm buying from, they will supply paints, but mostly acrylic. I think so. I'm not that sure about the paints, to be honest. It always says acrylic paints, when I want.
So the process is there's a pot, which you said you may need to add some water or paint conditioner to.
Yeah.
And then maybe you have to stir it up or something.
Yeah, stir it up.
And then you just literally dip your brush into the paint and paint.
Yeah. And
using whatever strokes you need. And then shut the pot. And how do you clean up?
I don't clean up. My canvases are always out on our kitchen table and I leave them there. So I don't need to pack away things. It's just there. So I have a towel with an easel that sits on the table with the canvas on it.
Just so you can tilt it up?
I sometimes don't use the easel. I will bring it down and put it on my lap so I can... You can't see what I'm doing, but I can face downwards, or I need to have a higher chair that will level with the top of the canvas so I can paint. And then, the paints will be just beside me with water in a glass jar so I can clean the brushes, and also a paper towel I can wipe the brushes with. So
to clean up the brush, you dip it in the jar of water and wipe it off with a paper towel. Yeah, that's it. And then I have lots of different brushes, so I'm using at the same time for different colours as well. So that just stays out. I leave it on the table so it's there, nobody touches it, and I just go straight after work. I'll sit there and it's already out for me. There's no packing up or bringing out or packing up. So that's really easy and good that you're able to do that. Yeah, very easy. When I was young, I had brought up with 9 kids in the house. So when I had my plastic models that I was making of things, it was always bring it out, do it, pack it away, and it was just a pain. Yeah, I think I'd find it a pain. I probably wouldn't paint that much if I had to do that all the time. Because it's out there all the time, I just go straight to it. It's, in that area of the house, tucked away a little bit, so nobody's going to go and spill any paints or water anywhere. You talked about stretching canvases, so that's only if you end up buying a canvas that's not got a frame? Yeah. So I found that Australia Paint by Numbers for me was going to be way too expensive if I was going to go through 30 canvases, in less than a year. So I had a look at Temu, and they have an amazing range full of canvases, but they will come folded or rolled, mostly folded. So when they come to me, I iron them. So I just get the iron out with the ironing board and I iron them flat so there's no creases in them. And then I'll go and buy just a $5 canvas from Kmart and just stretch it onto the canvas. So I needed a staple gun. There is a stretcher you can use, but I find that a bit difficult to use. So I just stretch it with my hands. And then staple it, do little, how you make your bed with the corners of the bed folded. Like a hospital fold? Yeah, like a hospital fold on the corners. That's exactly how you would fold it around the corners and then just staple gun it to the canvas and it's ready to go. That's a really cheap option. So you'd end up spending less than $20 on a Temu canvas. So that's relatively straightforward to get in, but you mentioned you started off with ones from Red Dot, so you can, if you want to do it, you can just get out there and do it. You don't really have to wait. Yeah. And the process, especially if you can leave it out and let it be in its place where you do it for a period of time, that's fantastic. But if you had to put it away and bring it out again, it's not really too unwieldy. No.
No.
So and you'd probably only take out 1 or 2 paints at a time, I would imagine, unless you've got one that's got lots of colours you have to actually go through.
Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't. It doesn't take a lot, to put it away. It only take 5 seconds to get it out again.
And you mentioned about starting in the middle. I sort of get the impression I'm right-handed, so that you would work from the middle out to the edge. But it sounds like you could just as easily turn the canvas at that point and continue going right. Would that be?
Yeah, you could do that as well. I sometimes do that. Or you could work from left to right. It depends how you want to do it. Sometimes I look at it and think, where am I going to start today? I could start completely to the left and work right. Or, you can turn the canvas as well. So you're just not smudging the paints because, I'm right-handed as well. And I find sometimes if you've done painting on the right and then you're going to the left and then you're putting your arm sort of on the... Because I do sometimes lean on it. Like I put it in my lap and I lean and then I've smudged some of the paint, on the right side. So, but the paint does dry. It doesn't take long to dry. Yeah, you just don't want to smudge the paint, that's all. But you can turn it as well, like you say. I have done that as well.
You could make it your own.
Yeah, you just do whatever you feel comfortable with.
Thank you very much, Nathalie, for talking about paint by numbers. Is there something that's next for you?
I have a few diamond paintings at home that I might try. I'm not sure how I'll go with that, but I'm certainly addicted to the paint by numbers for what it brings me with my health and calming my nervous system down, and the pleasure of creating something at the end. I'm just going to keep going with it, I think.
Well, all the Forest.chat listeners wish you all the best with your future endeavours.
Great. Thanks, Paul.
Thank you, Nathalie. You've been listening to Forest.chat, where we talk about individual endeavour in Western Australia, what it takes, what it means, and how you do it. I'm your host, Paul Vandermeer, and in today's episode, we've been talking with Nathalie Mitchell about paint by numbers. Remember, there are 4 ways to get involved with Forest.chat. Go to Forest.chat and sign up for the email newsletter to get advance notice of episodes. Listen to the episodes at forest.chat/episodes. If you do something interesting, book an interview at forest.chat/interview. If you'd like to support a small business, book an advert at forest.chat/advert. I'm looking forward to joining you with our next guest. Until then, enjoy making it happen.